I want you all to please ponder something. Have you ever heard Umar Johnson refer to himself as a psychology resident or a trainee? No, he hasn't, because he has never gone through any of that. He's just a psychologist. That's how good he is. But before I go any further, knowing you know what Umar Johnson has stated, I want you to please sit back and I want you to hear these clips. Knowing what Umar Johnson's defense is, hear these clips. And I'm going to come back because I got a couple more things to cover. Hear these clips of Umar Johnson. Oh, okay, anti-Afro Spengalis, and I don't want to keep you waiting because I've got to get something to you people. I stumbled across this information in another website, and I wouldn't dream letting the website saying the name because everybody's getting threatened. So thank you for those who offered. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you why I am hot and bothered, and I'm trying not to go on for too long because I want to give you some proof by some clips so I don't go on for too long. Okay, Umar Johnson, the formal charges, and it was what I had suspected, that he's been brought up on formal charges according to the document that was located, and I have no idea if there are other documents, but this document states that he was holding himself out to be a psychologist, and it states that, why they stated that. But here's the kicker, and it's only one charge, at least on this form, okay? But here's the kicker that got me riled up, is what he went through all of this mess, threatening everybody, sending his goons to threaten people who obviously had nothing to do with this. This document, initial document, was received back in August when he first received this. Umar Johnson last year was on YouTube saying people were complaining about him the previous year. He was on YouTube this year saying people complaining about him last year. So now he's getting on internet blaming this person and that person, calling people out, saying he's going to kick their ASSs and beat their ASSs, sending his flunkies and his goons out, putting people's names and addresses online, obviously designed to target people to be attacked. But what I'm PO'd about is that he used this situation for leverage to drum up attack and frenzy against people who had nothing to do with this, and to target and intimidate people that are overseeing this process. And do not think for a second that you're going to get away with it. Don't believe it. Well, you can believe it if you want to. I can't tell you what to believe, but you're sadly mistaken if you think you're going to get away scot-free mentioning all those people's names. That's what's POing me so much right now. And here this MF is up here threatening people he thinks turned him in. And the Board of Psychology has been after him for how long? How long? And they found out about this information. How? People, how? Umar Johnson did it. Umar Johnson was responsible for this by putting this on his website. No one told Umar Johnson to call himself a psychologist. Nobody told Umar Johnson to misidentify himself. People have complained about this, and he's saying, F you. I'm not listening to you. I don't do what you say. How many times have we heard Umar Johnson say that? I can do what I want to. I'm a psychologist. I'm this, I'm that, la-di-da-da-da. He did it. Umar Johnson did this. Nobody else did it to Umar Johnson. He did this. The behavior is something that Umar Johnson did, and he's running around here saying that black Negroes turned me in. How do you know who turned you in? How do you know? He's been saying this for 2 years. last year. He said the year before the Board of Psychology was on his case. And now it's everybody's fault now. It was SETI's fault last year, and he named all of these people. His flunkies posted people's names and addresses on the website, including the letter to the hearing where people's names, the board members' names, and they say they're going to harass the judge, which is a felony, witness intimidation. A whole other problem has been created. It's mind-boggling. He's not accepting any responsibility. And here's the situation. He plans to go there and deny this? How do you don't think they have evidence of this? He does say he's a psychologist. He does say he's a mental health expert. As you're reading this information, you see it. You see it, people. He says he doesn't hold himself out to be a psychologist, and he's only held himself out to be a school psychologist. I want you all to please ponder something. Have you ever heard Umar Johnson refer to himself as a psychology resident or a trainee? No, he hasn't, because he has never gone through any of that. He's just a psychologist. That's how good he is. But before I go any further, knowing you know what Umar Johnson has stated, I want you to please sit back and I want you to hear these clips. Knowing what Umar Johnson's defense is, hear these clips. And I'm going to come back because I got a couple more things to cover. Hear these clips of Umar Johnson.
Sonetta comes over and gives me $400. I have 6 degrees. I am a doctor of psychology. I am a certified school psychologist. I am a certified school principal. I am a child therapist. I paid my own money to take an early flight.
Oh yes, I specialize in homosexual therapy for our teenage people. And one time the judge looked at me and said, wait a minute, I know your face. I said, oh shit. He was on YouTube. You're that psychologist, not me. But I'm telling you, as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. I know, because I do therapy with them thugs. I'm a psychologist. Ain't too many black people running around looking for a psychologist to reveal all the skeletons in their closet. You talking to a therapist. I've done therapy with homosexuals. I stand by my position as a psychologist, as an educator, as a therapist for nearly 20 years.
I'm a psychologist, nigga. You don't think I can read you? I'm a psychologist, nigga. You don't think I can read right through your phony ass?
He ever had any counseling after his father's suicide?
Okay. He's definitely going to talk to me. When I come to Milwaukee, I want to meet with your son and you. When I come to Milwaukee, and you guys are going to remind me, because you're going to notice when I'm coming and you're going to remind me, but I want to come and meet with mom and son together, and then I'll meet with him alone. But I want to meet with the both of you together. But in the meantime, we need someone in his life who can be more consistent than Dr. Umar Johnson can, given my many initiatives and my many travels. So we need that regular psychologist who's going to see every week or every other week, but then you'll have me. Our daughters love being alone with men they don't know after the frat party with they hot asses. Our daughters love being alone with men they don't know after the frat party with they hot asses.
Girls who are molested go on to develop fetish personality disorder. Fetish personality disorder. This is my disorder. I made it up. Thought. We all know what a thought is. That hole over there. Girls who are molested go on to develop fetish personality disorder. Fetish personality disorder. This is my disorder. I made it up. Thought. We all know what a thought is. That hoe over there.
Multiple orgies, multiple head jobs, multiple orgies, multiple head jobs, thottish personality behavior. A lot of black girls and black women suffer from thottish personality disorder, thottish personality behavior. A lot of black girls and black women suffer from thottish personality disorder. And that only came a couple days after one of the television news programs played a clip of an interview I did, radio interview, where they changed my words within my statement. The beginning of the statement was my words, the end of the statement was my words, but they used audio technology manipulation to change what I said out of my mouth. And what I said was, black people have a right to defend their lives, even against police. They have a right to defend their life against anyone, including police. They took it and remixed the words and basically insinuated that I was telling black people to go out and harm police officers, which is not what I said. So when I looked at that false clip that was played, along with my current investigation, and the irony of my current investigation by the state board is they stated in the email that it was this call, the Tuesday morning Underground Railroad. They stated that it was this call that prompted the investigation. I said something on my Tuesday morning call that they considered to be illegal or unethical, which
Anti-Afros Bengalis. I had to just play those clips because you people know what's coming next, don't you? He's trying to figure out who the hell he's going to chuck under some buses. UMAR Johnson is so full of it. Okay, people, you heard all these clips. You heard them. I need people to please sit with it for a second because I'm going to ask you a question. I'm sure you've been thinking, but I want to give you, I'm asking people to please ponder for a second. I'm asking you to please ponder. Please tell me, when you listened to those clips in totality, did you get any indication that UMAR Johnson was referring to school psychology services or professional duties in any way, shape, or form?